I think there's some similarities in the fact that they were both getting good this time of year. By my standards, had struggled to break his maiden. It was surprising. We thought he would get it done earlier in the year. He just broke his maiden and went straight into the Louisiana Derby and won that. This horse had broke his maiden a little earlier. Come back in allowance race and run well. Caught a good horse that day. Kind of stuck in a little traffic, tapping on the brakes a little bit. And Cyberknife got first run on him. Cyberknife was a good horse. I think Brad's always thought highly of him. And he was the best horse that day for sure. But I think this horse has taken some big steps forward since then. I think the lights have really come on. His major work for this race was very, very impressive.
And so how much are you thinking of Kentucky Derby with this? Obviously, if you finish first or second, you're in the Derby with this race. And how much are you thinking just...
I think you got to, evaluate the horse, his race, and after it, and what it looks like going forward as far as the rest of the competition. I think the owners have been very patient. I think a lot of owners get Derby fever really, really bad, and it's straight to the Derby no matter what. But these guys are, they're kind of, patient on it about this, and I wouldn't even say it's a for sure deal. That he would go there. I think that they would have to think he had a very, very big chance to win it for us to go.
The horse is just going to get better as he gets older, and that's what you're looking for down the road.
A really improving 3-year-old right now. I think this time of year that's what we're always looking for, something that's on the improve, and that's definitely what he is. He's a horse that we've always thought highly of. He's been kind of laid back and not real aggressive in his training or races early on, and now it seems like the switch has come on. That 5/8 work and 58 and change the other day, it was a fast sealed track, but it was still a very, very impressive race. I mean, he was riding the bridle early, off the pole, relaxed, high cruising speed, finished up and galloped out big. So it's what you'd like to see coming into a big race.
There was a stat in the press notes the other day that I'm trying to think who won in 2005. That was the last horse to win the Louisiana Derby without having been in a stakes before. By my standards, of course, had been in the Breeders' Cup.
Correct.
As a maiden. Yeah. So, any thoughts on that? We always throw stats out and ask trainers to react.
Those stats get broken every year. I don't think Justify didn't have a start as a 2-year-old maybe. That was one of the big stats. So, history does tell us a lot, but that doesn't bother me.
What about the rest of the field? Epicenter will be the Risen Star winner, will be the favorite. You've got the Lecomte winner in there.
He's a horse that's been impressive all winter. Obviously, he's the star of the show. I think tactically he could be put in a little different position than he was last time. He earned an easy lead last time and just cruised around there. I think that possibly could happen again, but I think with Zozos and a couple other horses in there that have a little speed, it could be a different pace scenario, which would help our chances.
And you also have Hidden Connection in the Kentucky Oaks. She coming off 4th in the Rachel Alexandra, her first start since the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies.
Yeah, last race was an average race, honestly. It wasn't what we were looking for, but we weren't shocked by it either. I think a lot of people were kind of shocked and thought we'd be very disappointed, but I really wasn't. For some reason, going into that race, I wasn't getting the works like I wanted or needed. Nothing like I had during her 2-year-old year. She was extremely impressive filly in her works in the mornings, all of her 2-year-old year. We freshened her a little bit in Ocala, and we brought her back. She worked solid, but they were more like workman-like works, nothing impressive until her last work before the Rachel. And that was a very good work, and that was kind of a telltale sign that she was back. With that being said, I needed that work about 3 works prior to that. And so I really didn't have her tight enough. She drew an outside post, had to use her a little hard going in the first turn to get position. Just a couple little things went wrong, and they weren't big excuses, but a horse that wasn't 100%, it was enough to have gotten her beat. I think moving forward, she's worked very, very well since. She's moved forward physically. I think she's ready for a big effort on Saturday.
And taking on the champion, the unbeaten champion, Echo Zulu.
She is the one. She's the champ. you know, I think if you're ever going to face her, now is the time. Coming off a layoff, I've got a race under my belt, which I think helps me. Maybe it'll help us turn the tables on her. I mean, she's a great filly, and like I said, it'll be a tough to outrun her, but I think this is definitely the time to take a shot.